Boom! Can't even house a snake.
Ain't buying no snake.
Are you ready?
5. Damn, like that. 3, 2, 1.
What's that? It's my first time doing this, guys. Welcome to Talk About with Lust, and we're back, guys. Did you miss me? It's been a whole week. We didn't drop a whole episode in a whole week. I'm sure you guys were lost for a whole week. Didn't know what the fuck to do. Didn't know what conspiracy to fucking pick up on. But here we are. Welcome to the humanist experience. But per usual, we have a special guest. I'm gonna, like I always do, just let them introduce themselves. Say your name, your handler name, and how people can kind of find you.
All right, my name is Bree Kubista. You can find me at Bree Kubista. I'm an artist, painter, and all things creative.
Hey, I like that. I like that. So when people ask you, I have to start off because someone asked me the other day. So when they ask you what do you do? Do you just say you're an artist, or do you kind of explain what you are?
I used to say artist, but then they're always like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
Like
Because the other day
music or-
someone was like, "Oh, you do tattoos?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm a tattoo artist," but I hate being a tattoo artist because sometimes, well, the whole stigma of a tattoo artist, you're only a tattoo artist.
Mhm.
But I'm honestly an artist, and then I just do tattoos. You know what I mean?
No, I get
So
it.
it's like, yeah, no, I can't say I'm a tattoo artist. I'm actually a real artist. I like to do this shit
Mhm.
on forever canvas.
Yep.
Shit that lasts 700, 800 year type shit.
Mhm. That's why I said all things creative. Just go
So
ahead.
to start off, I always like to tell let people kind of get a little backstory, and then we get into all the cool philosophy shit.
Okay.
So where are you originally from?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey, hell yeah.
North Carolina.
So born and raised technically down up there?
Technically, I have 110%.
Hey, that's lit. Okay. So what brought you down here?
Art.
Yeah.
The art.
Is this the art capital? Is this it?
I don't
mean, I've been here forever, so I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's between here and like New York, as far as I know.
Yeah, but I feel like New York's more of like a theater and music.
Yeah, fashion's too really big up there and stuff. But fashion out here isn't. They running neck and neck with that. I mean,
yeah, but our fashion's more like showing your skin.
Yeah, like ass and titty fashion.
Yeah, and like bikini fashion.
Yeah,
like our fashion week is literally a bunch of girls in bikinis. Yeah, like New York has some real fashion week.
That is true.
I mean, would love to go to New York unless you're talking about like those Balenciaga fucking fashion shows. Those shits are weird as fuck. Yeah. The other day that I was watching it with this motherfucker, and it was weird as fuck. Yo, it was like everyone was like wrapped in bubble wrap, and it was like crazy. Hell nah, aliens. Everyone was bald headed. It was fucking weird.
The stuff like that doesn't make you feel some kind of way as an artist, though, like as a creative.
So look, I'm actually kind of happy that you're on this episode for the fact is because you're not a splatter.
What
you know, like you don't splat paint.
Excuse me.
And not even to knock on this nigga, but like last episode we had a kid that and I kind of like checked him, but like he's on that whole splat shit, and it's like I don't know, and I kind of shoved it to him because the fact is that me as an artist, and I was raised as an artist, and like I have no other avenue. And there's people, and then the fact that he's like, yo, I represent that everyone should be creative, but the thing that's happening is you got people like that want everyone to be creative, but the people that literally depend on this lifestyle because we love it and breathe it, or we're being saturated out. Because they're just like, you're just like one of those artists. But like, no, motherfucker, I was born to do this shit.
As you're just...
Yeah, doing that shit or like... I don't know.
It's the minimum effort. That's what bothers me.
Yeah. Like another thing is like growing down here is like you get all these fucking pretty bitches that draw like Lola Bunny and Bugs Bunny and put glitter on it. And then squeeze their titties. And then it's like, I'm an artist. And it's like, bitch, no, you're not.
Yeah, no.
Like, but no, you're not.
Sex sells, we know this.
It does, but it's fucked up because like even that I find that even in the tattoo culture is like there's people that get into tattoos and then I'm only gonna stay with your want to be better,
of course,
like do more,
of
like
course.
You know what I mean, and evolve.
Yeah,
like and even like Picasso talks about like it took him 5 years to learn realism. But a lifetime.
Took him 5 years to learn realism.
But it took him a lifetime to learn how to draw like a kid.
I feel that though. I
'Cause
feel
it
like
is hard.
once you really start learning how
Yeah.
to paint and draw,
Yeah.
it's hard to really
Be that simple artist. Like, be
Yeah.
that Basquiat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And another thing is we live in a
Uh,
time. I don't know.
I
What?
mean, now that we're saying that,
Let's
I
hear
mean,
it.
it kind of goes hand in hand with the simplicity of them just kind of throwing the paint. No,
But the thing is,
mean-
like, looking at Basquiat and me as my perspective is that because I like his art, but I really don't like it. But
Mhm.
he understands space.
okay.
Because I was even talking to my girl about that. It's like a major part of art is design, and that's
Mhm.
layout.
Mhm.
And as like the spaces in your canvas is as important as the actual
Yes.
object.
Mhm.
And knowing how to like read the canvas and
Mhm.
move it
Mhm.
is big.
It
you know,
is.
so it's like
And the way, like, you mean like placement wise, like the way he has
yeah,
everything kind of
exactly.
placed out, and it's appeasing to the eye in a
Yeah.
sense, even though you're looking at it like, but
No, exactly. And it eats you up. But another thing is like, so when you also see these motherfuckers that like splat paint, it's like, motherfucker, you're not an artist. You're a texture. Because splat is just texture.
That's a good way to put it.
'Cause
Call
that
him
is
a
a-
texture instead of
you're a
like an actual
texturer.
like
Yeah,
artist,
you're not an artist.
creative.
You're a texturer.
Because you're not really pulling any creativity out of your
No.
brain. You're just
Yeah, you're literally just putting the
gravity do its
base.
thing. Yeah, you
exactly,
know?
exactly. It's like almost like that painting, or even like I have a painting upstairs that it was a cool painting because as an artist, I took these different classes just to take me out of that whole out of the box.
Mhm.
And there was one project that my teacher literally told us make lines with whatever object you want with black. So we took Indian
Okay.
ink. So we took a big piece of paper. You get Indian ink. You get a bunch of pencils. You get a bunch of brushes. You get bamboo sticks. You just get a
Okay.
bunch of things and roll it on paper, and then it makes obviously a design.
Okay.
And then what you do is you take you take two L's, and it's like a little 4x4 L, and you make a window, and then you cut out windows.
I've never heard of this before. That's why I'm looking at you.
No,
like,
so like,
okay.
so you take two pieces of paper, right?
Okay.
And you make one L and one L. So when you're going over your big sheet of paper that you made all these lines,
Yeah.
you take this window and you're picking out your favorite window and you cut that out, and then you make a panel of 8 drawings, and it actually looks dope together.
Okay.
I'll show you
okay.
upstairs, but it's dope because it just teaches you like one, obviously texture, and then also like I don't know, design, just like understanding the black and the white, and it just opens you up. But like, dude, when I saw that shit, I was like, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I was like, damn, this, because I used to knock the motherfucker, and he was like a weird Ecuadorian like gay guy, but he was like super, like he was like 60 years old. But and he always used to be like mad snobby, and then by the end of the semester, I fucking like was cool with him. But I was like, bro, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like simple art, but he literally taught me layout, texture.
That was your art teacher?
Yeah, in college.
Okay.
And honestly, I appreciate it because that honestly made me way better of an
You
artist.
even took art in college?
Well, I wanted to. I never did it in high school.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't ever get to do art in college. That's why I was like, I thought that, yeah, well,
because I did. I mean, color theory.
Yeah,
Color theory is amazing. Like
everything.
Once you like learn that shit, like you'll start also understanding how your brain registers tones and what color next to what color makes this.
Yeah.
And
that's where people start getting like those real trippy colors and stuff like that too.
Yeah. And then your palette, you start learning what's muted and like hues. And besides that, I also liked about color theory was the fact that I learned what makes art appealing and nice is making it match. So like,
what do you mean, like match interior design?
No. So like, like you pick 3 colors, right?
Okay.
3 complementary colors. So as long as you pick these 3 complementary colors and paint around that guideline, everything's always gonna look beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like in nature, that's another thing. Like, so let's say if you're gonna paint and you don't know what colors to paint, you can pick your colors from nature because nature never mix matches. So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
But I never thought of that. And unless I went to college, I would have never learned that. So it's like you can literally make anything look good as long as it matches, because that's what your eye naturally makes it appealing. So that was a cool fucking point of view too. And then also learning complementary colors, which is the opposite of red is blue. So if you're gonna put a red foreground, the background will be blue, and that will push it.
Yeah,
pushing.
I feel like I learned that in like middle school, high school, but like
What? No, isn't it?
Talking about colors that are like
on the wheel.
Yeah, blue, orange.
Oh, there you go. No, yeah, you're right. Blue, orange, red, green.
Go
See?
ahead.
But she's also a color theorist. She does
Creators in
hair.
the house. Mm-hmm.
Hair is the same shit. I remember I would talk about that. She'd be like in the back, yeah, that's the same way we do hair. And I was like, yeah, I guess so.
And
I
then
think you
guys
said
over
that
here
to me
like-
too.
oh, you can actually mix colors. That's a thing.
Yeah. But another cool thing too is like with color
Insane.
theory, and it's funny because like right now there's a guy that's like super famous, and he I want to say he lives in like Korea, and he makes spray cans.
He makes spray cans.
It's crazy. So I guess in Korea they fucking make he makes his own spray cans. He pressures it and fills it up with air, and he. Oh. No, but he fills it up with air, and then fucking he can like he can make this color for you right now. Like, are you that
Okay.
confident with your color theory like that?
Ah,
Like, if I can can I give you the 3 primary colors and you can make that?
I damn sure gonna try.
But that's cool
I
because it's like
have a high. I think so. I think I
we
can
should
make
try that
color.
one day. We should like have a
That'd
challenge.
be yeah.
Like,
That'd be a
we
fun
gotta
little
make this-
challenge actually.
so,
But that's the thing. These are like, God, those are like
Neon.
neon.
But I feel like neons, to make neons, you probably just need a lot of white. What do you think? How do you make neon?
Maybe white and yellows. Maybe no.
But no, I
Um.
definitely like that's the cool thing about that class. My teacher would like rip pages out of a magazine and it's
Mhm.
like, I need you to make this color. And then what you do is you paint it on a piece of paper and then she'll put it over and it has to match.
Okay, that makes sense though.
But you should definitely take
Yeah, I
another
was gonna
class.
say maybe.
But the
think
cool thing
about-
about like as an artist, so you can even down here, so you can go take a class. You can take a class without a degree.
I saw those.
And you just pay $300 and you
Mhm.
take a class.
Yeah, I saw
you'll
they
love
have a
'em.
few of them. They have them for like arts.
Yeah.
They have them for fashion. they have
So
'em for music, all
personally,
types of
for
stuff.
you as an artist, I would go to BC Central,
Okay.
which is the one in Davie,
Mm-hmm.
or you go to Miami-Dade, the one that's right by Liberty City, the North Campus.
Okay.
Those are 2 really good like community college art schools.
Okay.
But so what got you into art? What was your or
I've
was it like a
always
birth
been-
thing?
It's a birth thing. I've always been since day one.
That's dope.
I barely made it through school. That's all I was doing the whole time. They were like, "Put the damn pencil down."
So
but
what was like when you first started drawing? What was your main thing? Were you like instantly into colors, or were you like a doodler?
believe it or not, when I first started drawing, I used to draw fashion designs like
Okay.
nonstop, like in droves. Like I had binders full of them. Like I did those more than
So
I
you
did
did a lot of
schoolwork.
like just designing clothes and shit.
I used to I had a whole clothing line. I had fronts, bags, I had the logos, I had everything. I was like
And then
12.
what happened?
Um,
Like what made you transition to like what you do now?
so I couldn't afford to go to school for fashion design.
But why do you say that?
I couldn't at the time. I mean, I was like 17, 18 years old
I
trying
know,
to
but
go
you
to
could have just probably.
it was different. It was
Yeah.
a little bit
No,
different then,
yeah,
a little
yeah.
different then. Couldn't afford it, so I ended up going to community college
Okay.
for American Sign Language, and that ended up being I studied that for 5 years.
So you full blown no sign language?
That's my
Yeah.
second language. Yeah, I
That's
never get to
crazy.
use it, so it's kind of like rusty, but
Are
Yeah.
they throwing gang signs out here all
yeah,
day?
And then I left college and didn't even do nothing with that. Went right back to art. So as you
That's dope. And what made you
So-
get into that? That's fucking random.
I taught myself sign language, and so I was like, well, if I can teach myself this, I
So
might
do
as well
you-
go.
did you have any friends that were like mute or deaf or something?
Yeah, I had met someone at the beach when I was like, gosh, I want to say like 15, maybe
Okay.
14, 15. And he was deaf, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna learn how to talk to you because I had never met a deaf person before.
It's
And
funny
it
because I used to
just-
know sign language. I mean, I have a cousin that's mute, but I learned sign language because my fucking my neighbor, she was deaf,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew all the letters and all that shit. But then after a while, I kind of gave up on that shit. But no, that shit's That's a random fucking skill.
It's a random.
So you be
skill.
on the videos, you be watching videos like that bitch ain't even saying nothing.
Nah, I
That
don't even
shit's
pay
fake.
attention to that stuff at the time. To be honest with you.
Half time I be seeing people and leaving like concerts nowadays on concerts.
I see that
They-
stuff all the time on like TikToks where
Yeah.
someone's faking it,
Yeah.
or even with like the presidential
yeah,
stuff.
So
I'm
that
like,
bitch ain't
how?
saying shit.
How did they even get up? How did they even get through the doors? That's my question.
Yeah.
The security is that really? So I just gotta. Hey
Noir
Noir.
wants to talk. Noir, you know sign language?
Oh, he wants to be.
Hey my friend, come on,
Oh.
little friend. You wanna come over here with me? It's okay, you got it. Oh, thank
Oh.
you. Emotional
okay.
support.
So so what? So you did that in college, and then what? Did you work with it or?
No, I got out of college and I went right back to art.
feel that.
I mean, you know, you
So-
do gotta do what you're happy with.
So when you got back into art, like what classes were you taking at that time? Like,
Say that again.
like when you got back into college for art, what were you
I
taking?
didn't get back into college for art. I left college and got back into art.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
And what medium were you working with at that time?
I was working with acrylics at the time. Now
You
I'm
were-
working with oils strictly.
Better,
Strictly
right?
oils. Yeah, I love oils because you can work with them all day long. Like if I see something's messed up,
Yeah.
a day later, go back and still fix it. So
You know what's crazy? When I first did oils, I was fucking beating the fuck out of myself because another thing is
Why?
like, because a little bit of oil moves
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of oil stays.
Yes.
So I didn't know that theory. So I'm over
Yes.
here taking some oil and putting on the canvas and it'll just blend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it doesn't work. And then I'll do something else and I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't do it for a whole year and then I came back. But and then another thing is before I used to like always use, like if I'm not going to seal it yet, I use baby oil.
You use baby oil
Or like some sort of like that type of oil.
for your oil paints?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah. And then when I'm done, I use liquid.
Okay, I know the liquid, but
Yeah.
the baby oil you threw me for a loop with that. I didn't know
Yeah.
you could do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's the same thing as like regular oil. I mean,
I use the odorless minerals for my oil
Yeah,
paints.
yeah.
So I was like, oh.
nah, I use baby oil. Same shit.
Okay.
I mean, it's the
now I
same.
know.
No, it isn't the same shit. You're right. But another thing is also baby oil is like I already use it to clean my brushes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't really mind.
The
it.
baby oil cleans the oils off of your
the brush,
brushes.
yeah. So
You
I
really put me
massage.
on game today.
So what I do is I put baby oil. I massage the brush really well, get it nice
Mhm.
and soft, get all like the cake out of the brush,
Mhm.
and then I use dial soap, and then it comes off like nothing.
I was gonna go get that expensive stuff. That's what I always use. That pink soap. It's like
Fuck that
$5
shit.
a bottle.
Fuck that shit.
It's like the bottle's like that big.
I don't trust anything that they say that it's like specialty for this. You know what I mean?
That's what it's supposed to be though. Yeah.
Because it's like propaganda. It's like
It
I
does
don't
take
know.
forever. It takes like a whole day just for it to soak off with that.
It does.
shit. Yeah.
And honestly, that shit like it's just a lot of work and it's messy as fuck. Cleaning
Mhm.
brushes is fucking messy as fuck.
It
So
is.
like
not
but
my
for the most part, like what made you jump into oil? Did someone put you onto it? You're like, I think fuck acrylic.
Shit, I don't even remember. To be honest with you, honestly, I think I was just playing. I was playing with spray paints. I was playing with the oils, the acrylics, the gouache.
You never got into
all that.
gouache?
I didn't. I say gouache. You call it gouache.
Gouache.
He's teaching me shit up.
Gouache.
I thought I knew something.
Yeah, good old gouache. That's that
it's like gouache. I don't know.
that's
Gouache.
that's that fancy adult watercolor.
Yeah, that
I
is.
had a teacher that literally would make everything look real with gouache.
Hmm.
Cause gouache almost moves like
I don't like
oil.
that stuff though. I don't like that stuff at all. It doesn't move. It's like it's almost like a
It's chalky.
pastel.
It's
Yeah,
chalky.
like
It's almost like that. Oh, that's a watercolor right there. That's gouache behind you.
on your
No,
wall.
no, on that frame. That's gouache.
I can't see
I
it.
know.
Right here.
Yeah.
That looks like it's like spray paint or something.
Yeah, it's also because at that like, so that's what my teacher used to make us makes the weirdest colors, and just make different tones, and then she'll also will teach us how to make fades. So like that's like honestly that's what I got good in, like transitioning
Mm-hmm.
like those tones, and then honestly I learned that through spray paint. But yeah, no, fucking oil's the best way all day.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So like, what do you like? I mean, I personally know what you like drawing now, but like, what's your go-to? Like when you get creative, what do you like to draw?
I like to draw whatever comes out my head half the time. Because most of the time when I get creative, it's because I'm in my feelings
I
about
always
something.
see you draw a lot of women.
They're expressions of self.
Yeah, but still.
It's an extension of self. So because literally half the time it's whatever I'm going through at the moment. When I'm in my feelings about something, that's when it just.
So what was the inspiration of that last one that you did? Like the girl reaching out of the flowers and all that?
My inspiration. I know. Getting in there. Okay.
What inspired that painting?
She
So about her.
Yeah, about her. I am excited about her though, by the way.
She's a big piece.
Yeah, she's huge and super colorful, and I love how I was able to get her to kind of like she was kind of coming out the canvas a little bit. But I really honestly she came from heartbreak, and also in the midst of being heartbroken, being like happy about it. So it's kind of like, don't go, but like I'm in a beautiful place now, even though like
I like how you made
know.
like everything around it colorful, and she was just monotone, like monochromatic type shit. So
I mean, it's what happens when you're going through it, man.
Yeah. life is colorful, but you're 50 Shades of Gray.
Yeah, type. I mean, type.
But no, I like that shit. I also noticed that you don't like you don't put too much faces.
No.
No?
My thing is, so as you see, like you even asked, like with the figures, a lot of times people are like, "Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?" And I try to keep away from actually putting like a distinguished face to the person, because I want people to use them at who do you think it is?
Yeah.
Who you want it to be?
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
Think for yourself. Don't let me tell you who it is. You
yeah.
know. And
Like,
but people
those
hate
curves
that though.
remind me of somebody.
I hate that shit.
Really?
They do. They hate it. They're like, give me an answer.
No, it's true. I remember back when I was in college, my favorite thing was critique. Like critiquing the fuck out of shit.
Really?
Yeah, my teacher was like, I got so good at critiquing. Because another thing is, I would tell you what I would see and how because another thing, like I like talking about weight, like between line distribution and like the weight of a painting. Like, oh, you put too much here, or this, or like, oh, you shouldn't use 4, you should use 3, like shit like that. So like, I would chew the fuck out of fucking people, and then like, but that's the point of art, man. Because another thing is like, and I'm not gonna lie,
You were that kid in our class nobody liked then if you was out there to critiquing
well, another thing
everybody's
is,
shit.
by the time I went to art school, I was already older, so I was with a bunch of jits, so I didn't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, another thing, the kids too nowadays are fucking nerdy and weird. So like, what are they gonna say? They gonna talk shit to me? I was already tatted and like look like this. A lot of the motherfuckers like, who is this inmate? Like, this motherfucker's strong with us. You might steal my markers.
Not the markers.
Oh, bro, markers all day. I fucking used to steal those Elmer's markers.
I remember those.
That shit was a shit. I used to be I used to paint backpacks in high school.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah, that was my main gig.
That's cool. What did they either pay you like in the cafeteria or something?
Yeah, basically, it's like $25. I would charge for backpacks, or you can give me some weed. I was smoking weed at ninth grade.
For that.
But
since 1993.
So honestly, right before I even got into high school, a lot of people knew me as a graffiti writer because I was already doing binders in middle school.
Okay.
So when the kids so I moved here in 7th grade. So by the time I got to high school, people already knew me as my tag name back then was Plátano. Like, oh, you're Plátano, you fucking graffiti binders. So I would charge people for binder drawings. And remember back in, you used to have those sleeves in your binder. So I would draw something for your binder and then charge you like $5.
Okay.
So after that, I transitioned to backpacks, and then that was a wrap. Like, I was a cool kid.
Though. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you had to be a pretty cool kid for that.
Nah, dude, I would fucking take off the front pocket off your JanSport, fucking paint the whole thing, spray paint the graffiti, the whole shit.
That's impressive though. Heck yeah.
And then, bro, I would I'm sure moms and dads were happy with me because the kids wouldn't even fucking get, you know how some kids get new backpacks every year? Nah, I would just paint your shit all over again. Hey. You got a new piece this year.
For probably half the price too, right? I mean, they just go to you, give you the cash instead.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't go cheaper.
Because you still charged for like a brand new bag?
Yeah, hell yeah. As well. Because you got to, it was like, because another thing is like, there's that meme that always says is like, sure, I fucking drew that shit in 30 minutes, but it took me 20 years to draw that shit in 30 minutes. You know what I mean? So, like, sometimes even with my tattooing, people are like, yo, but you only did this much. It's like, but nigga, it's because I've done it so many times that I can do it this fast for you. So, like, you still got to pay me, motherfucker.
Yeah, for your time and skill.
And that's another thing I also feel about art. What just happened? Oh, but another thing is, like, I also hate, too, when fucking people, damn, where was I gonna go? Good job, Ryan. You fucked it up. No, fucking what was I gonna say? I don't know. It's terrible. I can't even think of it.
We smoke too much.
We didn't even smoke.
I know.
I don't know. Where is it? I don't know.
What is that?
Hit the pen.
Wow.
This show is sponsored by.
That should definitely be it.
And guys, we're going to commercial break.
Uh-oh.
Whoa! Here, you want this?
Yeah. That'd be
But so besides all that good stuff,
this is cute.
as I lost my train of thought in life, it's a great time to advertise. Don't be salty, guys.
That's cute.
Being a hater don't get you nowhere. But so what projects you got going on this year already? Like, besides, is that style that you just drew recently, is that going to be your next run, or do you do series? What's your approach? What's the Brie approach?
For this year, I am considering doing a series. I have a mapped out idea of like this new style I'm kind of going for, which is
Okay.
kind of similar to what I was doing, where I kind of want the women to kind of pop out more. But we'll see what happens. The thing is though, is with art, like it's such a metamorphosis of self most of the time. I think even with any artist, I think it just
Are you one of those procrastinating artists?
I
Like
procrastinate with everything. What you mean?
So it's not just me. Sometimes some paintings will take me a week. Some paintings will take me 3 years.
Yeah, literally. I have some that have been like 3-4 years long for sure. That still ain't done.
Yeah, but I mean
Mhm.
but when they're done, they're fucking clean and they're
Yeah.
dope, and you know they're done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, when they're done, you're like,
Yeah, because that's another thing is like even like upstairs, I have some drawings that I have. To people, they think that they're done, but I know they're not done. And to us, that's just not done at
Yeah.
all, and it is what it is.
Yeah, but some people definitely look at. I've sold pieces that weren't done that people were like, I love it as it is, and it's like,
Hey,
it's like
they're done,
what?
guys.
Yeah, what the okay, sure, less work for me. Take it.
Yeah, run that
Like-
shit. And honestly, I feel like even as like, especially being an oil painter, we gotta learn when it's enough, because with oil you can just keep going
Oh yeah,
and keep going,
layers and
keep
layers.
going.
But that's the thing is, but the more layers you do, the more realistic it's gonna become, or
And that's the amazing
whatever
part
you're
of
going
oil.
for.
That's why, like, honestly, I've loved oil, and the thing about oil, it has to be in a room that I chill at, because what happens is while I'm working, smoking a joint, doing my job, I look at it and I'm like, oh, that looks ugly. And then you
Go back and that's what I was saying was I literally will take like a day or two and then go back and I'll look. And that's the thing, I'll just keep walking past it. And every once in a while I'll see something like, okay, and grab a paintbrush real quick and fix it up.
Yeah.
Like that's a beautiful, because you can't do that with acrylic. Acrylic is like it's dry, you done.
That's
You're
it.
done.
And you gotta
Over
be
the whole
quick.
painting. I'm not fast like that.
Yeah.
That goes back with the procrastinating. It just takes me all day to do everything.
No. But when you settle for with oil, do you still base with acrylic or no?
And sometimes I'll use acrylic as a base.
Because I definitely use acrylic to start my bottom tone.
Mhm. Oh no, not like that. Like I'll use it as like just like a solid background sometimes, but like outside of that,
No, so like even to this day, just to save. So like even let's say the Barbie, I painted her hair bright yellow acrylic, and then I obviously took like the it's like I think it's called like ochre or some shit, that it's like a brownish yellow.
okay.
So I took that color, I took some white, and then I fucking start layering it. But
Mhm.
you can still kind of see the yellow in it,
Mhm.
but it's literally just builds off of that tone.
Yeah.
But like I get any close color, and then I kind of build off of that.
Mhm.
I feel like it just saves paint.
It does. It does save paint, but I mean, it also saves you like the time of having to keep going over all this.
Because another thing is, like, I've seen artists that take a canvas and paint the whole canvas white, and then they paint wet. So do you paint wet?
No, not usually. Like
No?
only like when I'm actually like in the process of like actually building up my image or whatever. Then yeah, but
I just
the
don't.
basis.
The thing is, I don't feel like I don't really paint wet like canvas. For the fact is that there's no fucking way I'm gonna finish a canvas in a week to be like, I'm gonna just leave this fucking surface wet.
Oh yeah, no.
You know. So like to be like, all right, I'm gonna paint this
That's
whole
like a
canvas
teeny tiny one.
white.
You ever do like little teeny tiny ones? You do little
Nah,
tiny
I'm over
ones.
those.
No, I know, that's my downfall now. Is I like doing like those ginormous ones, and
No,
like,
yeah.
but they're impossible to transport half the time. You gotta get like
and
freaking
it's
you
also
off.
like annoying because
Yeah.
like it does take a lot of time, but they are a lot faster. But I do want to get into the small tiny ones because like it's almost like micro realism, and then at that point you're just learning shapes.
Yeah, because like literally you do like a dot, and you come back and it's like a whole something else. Yeah,
Because that's another thing you also got to understand, and I also want to start putting it in my paintings that like in the corner be like stand away 25 feet to see perfectly.
And then you step back and also you can see clearly what it is. That's actually really dope.
Because I always talk
But
about
wouldn't
that.
your image have to be blurry initially though? Like it'd have to be like a blurred kind of image.
No,
and then
because
you have
another
to-
thing you got to understand too is like, you know, when you, because us as painters, we're always painting like this, right?
Mhm.
But then we sometimes like don't like the texture and we're like, oh, we get too focused on the actual texture and like, oh, this looks retarded. But then you take that fucking 10 feet back and it looks great.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
depth is on point,
Mhm.
the glistening, the reflection, it's
Mhm.
all fire. But since you're right there, you're like, oh, this
Can't
is so
see.
ugly.
Mhm.
Same thing with graffiti. A lot of the times when you're doing graffiti, when you're up close, it just doesn't look right. But when you step away, it just reads great.
Whole nother
So like I also
ballgame.
want to start putting in my artwork is like staying away by like 10 feet, 5 feet. Because you also don't want to see all those little tedious nicks and crannies that's supposed to be part of the bigger picture.
I mean, that can also change, you know, obviously people's perception of what they're actually seeing too. I mean, because you looking at a paint from over here, you're gonna see it differently than when you're looking at paint from right here.
True, because light and all that other shit too.
Yeah, light, all that. I mean, kind of like the paint I just did. I feel like when you look at her from the bottom, she looks like she's coming out. Where you look at her first like that, she doesn't look as dimensioned.
So with that painting, are you trying to advertise that you should be hung higher? So it gives you that effect of crawling out.
Hang it high, bitch. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So how long did that one even take you to do?
Gosh, she took what, like 2-3 months. So I started her when I went back to Charlotte for a while. So yeah, it took me like 3 months to do that.
So this whole art thing is like, anybody else in your family is an artist, or you were the one?
the black sheep of the family. That's me. Yeah.
It sucks that to be an artist, you have to be the black sheep. You got to be the crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, they didn't understand it at all growing up. At all, it was like pulling my teeth like every single day. Because
What did they want you to do?
Everything but art
Yeah.
and be creative. I mean, they were like, you know, like math isn't my thing. So for instance, I used to get screamed at. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I understand, you know, what bread and blue makes. I don't know what you want me to do right now. And they just.
And how's your people feel about it now?
They're supportive of it now. Now though, they understand like my brain is just over here and it's not over there with them. With, you know, they're corporate people. They work at the banks and stuff like that. And you know, they got me that's like, let's go paint.
My daughter's a hippie.
Basically, that's what they probably think. They probably think.
My mom always says that. It's like, Josh is always on some hippie shit. It's like, bro. And it's funny because talking about all that hippie shit is like, I realized now that I'm older, I don't like I mean, I've never been like the person to pick on a person's life, but I also now give more slack to people that don't really fit society because we're not supposed to be doing this shit
at all.
So
and I'm sorry, but the people who be like, oh, I'm a hippie, sometimes they're the worst fucking people. I'm sorry, sometimes they are terrible. I'm just saying. Anybody that I think anybody that kind of overcompensates for anything, like it's like, oh, I'm this, and they're so like strong on it. It's like, okay, what are you trying to cover up? Like, what are you trying to like?
But another thing is like, as much people who see us as being hippie for spiritual people, I don't think I ever represent myself as a hippie spiritual. Hippie. Yeah, exactly.
I can spiritual. I'm not a hippie.
Yeah. So it's like
I don't know them guys.
I mean, I don't even know what makes you a fucking hippie at this point. But it's just fucking weird because people would see you as a hippie, but I would never represent myself as a hippie. Like, bro, nah. No. I'm just who I am. Like, I mean, I'm a free soul. That's all it is.
That's it.
No contract.
But that's the thing. Though. People want to be able to put you in a box. People want to know like where to. Yeah, they want to know
you have to have a label.
They have to.
It's fucked up.
I was just talking about that earlier.
I
get asked that. Since I moved down here, actually, I get asked probably 5 times a day. What are you? What are you? What are you?
Like what? Nationality?
Like nationality, ethnically, everything. Like they want to know what are you? What are you? I'm like, y'all. Like it's to the point now. I'm starting to rebel. I'm like, I'm everything. Like, leave me alone. Stop asking me this question.
Goku.
I'm like, God.
Where you from? Everywhere.
Everywhere.
You ever seen that meme? That meme is great. That nigga's like, what's your name? Goku. He's like, where you from? Everywhere. He's like, I'm living in the Matrix. I'm Neo.
No, I've never seen that.
That shit's great. It's so good.
That.
But honestly, it's on, and it's funny because like, it's funny that you even mentioned that because it was a point that I used to hate it all the time because that would be the first conversation. And I feel like that's a pickup line too. Like, hey, where you from? It's like, oh, here we go, nigga.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's like me being Dominican is like it's always it's the same fucking story. It's like you being a Gemini. Like, oh, you're a Gemini. Here we go. It's like, fuck, nigga. What the fuck does that mean?
We hear that all the time. We got Geminis in here, so we hear it all the time. It's a hell of a mixture.
But nah, it's fucking annoying. It's like, yeah, it's like, come on, bro, get the fuck out of here. But it was a point. It was a point. I would just make up shit. One day I told someone I was Japanese, and I was like, "No, you're not." I was like, "No, I'm really Japanese."
Mhm.
And it was like, "No, where are you from?" I was like, "No, I was born in Japan." It's like, "So where's your parents? Where are your parents from?" It's like, "Nigga, who fucking cares?"
They
And it was
gotta
so,
know.
yeah, it's so fucking crazy. I remember one time talking about that shit. I think I was with this nigga probably. We were at the strip club, and these bitches like, "Oh my god, where are you from?" And I was like, "I'm Hawaiian." And they were
you
like,
passed for Hawaiian.
and they were like, "No, you're not Hawaiian." And I was like, "No, I'm from Hawaii, but I was raised by Dominican parents." And they were like, "Shut the fuck up, you're not Hawaiian." I was like, "No, I swear to God." And then I think I even have my Hawaiian number, and I was like, "Look," and I called someone next to me. I was like, "Look, it's a Hawaiian number." And you're like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm actually Dominican as fuck." But like, I was like, at the end of the day, what the fuck matters, bro?
That's what I'm saying, though.
It's
That's
like-
my point. What does it matter? Like, and then why people are so pressed? Like,
But it's the
know all
same way, like I've
time.
even taught myself recently. So back in the days, I would tell you a story. It's like, "Yo, so I saw this white guy." I've literally been trying to teach myself, like, "Yeah, so I was talking to this guy."
Mhm.
Cause like, what the fuck matters if he was black, white, Chinese, or anything?
Mhm,
Like, we're so
mhm.
quick, and I understand why we do it. Is to give like narrative to the
Yeah,
story.
of course.
But like,
of course.
at the same time, is like, and I've tested it with my kids. So I remember one time my daughter used to call this park the Black Park, and it's in the hood. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Kai, you can't say that." And I was like, and I remember one time I was like, "Kai, so why you call it the Black Park?" And she's like, "Cause it has black slides, Poppy." And I was like, "Oh, that's because there's little black little hoodlums over here." And I was like, "Okay, now you're a good kid."
Oh god.
But I was like, "Oh, okay." But it's funny, yo, because like sometimes like it's literally programmed in our head.
Yeah.
They put that shit in our head to like do
Mhm.
that shit and recognize race and
Mhm.
separate us at a young age. But that day I would never forget. And that's honestly one of those days that made me realize like we got to start saying stories like, "Yeah, so I saw this white bitch," or like, "I saw this black bitch," or like,
Yeah.
like just
mhm.
say that you saw a
Saw
woman
somebody, yeah.
and you were talking
I saw
to
this bitch.
Yeah, that's it. But it's funny because it always happens is like you start telling the stories like, "Yes, I saw this bitch and I was in the supermarket and I was just chilling and then I was walking around and then the bitch just started yelling at me for no reason." It's like, "Was she white?"
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
I knew she was white. It's like, damn, motherfucker.
Yep.
It's like, I wasn't trying to get into that.
Yep.
He's like, "Yeah, so, I was driving the other day and this lady, like, couldn't look over the steering wheel and she, like, cut me off. Oh, was she Asian?"
Yep. I already
It's
knew
like-
where that was going.
It's like, yo, it's fucked up. It was like, we literally, but it's like, hey, stereotypes is a real thing.
It is real.
And it is what it is.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
I told
And
you
it's like-
earlier. This
yeah.
experience is wild, man.
So how do you feel about this? Talking about experience. How do you feel? How do you feel about the human experience in itself? You think we fucked up? Are we trying our best?
I think we trying our best. I think we did fuck up
We
a
did.
long time ago.
Yeah,
We
it ain't
fucked
our
a long
fault.
time ago. I mean, it's our fault. You don't think it's our fault?
I mean, I feel like
Who
it's
else's
only
fault
our
would it
fault
be?
because it's only our fault because we condone it.
Mm.
So the other day I
And
even
we
said,
don't correct it.
yeah. So like we can eat like so everyone thinks that we need to like get together, get our AKs and march down to fucking DC.
Mm.
And it's
Not gonna
actually
change
easier than that.
anything.
The best way to do it is like shit, nigga, no one pay taxes for a whole year. Them niggas will fucking shake.
But not everybody's willing to do that.
Yeah, but I mean
that's getting the collective together as a whole, which is close to impossible
Yeah,
to actually do.
but I mean, people are worried to sacrifice $5,000 for 1 year than to get the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Because if we
Mhm.
all didn't pay taxes, and I'm talking about everyone didn't pay
Mhm.
taxes,
all
bro,
of America
yeah.
stops paying taxes.
bro, these niggas would be fucked.
Yeah.
They would literally have to be like, "All right, motherfucker, what do you guys want me to do? You want houses back at 50,000? We can make this happen. Like, just
It's
do your
either-
taxes, please."
It's either that or they gonna send the marshals out here
Yeah.
and lock this bitch
Nah,
down.
but low key, you can't even send that many fucking marshals. You know what I mean? Another thing I also said is like, shit, how about 1 year? We just don't vote. Let's see who they really vote for. Nigga, if no one voted, how the fuck is there fucking results?
I mean, you want to see if you do that, Trump ass gonna end up being in office again or some shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm surprised this other nigga won anyways. So it's like, bro, I honestly that when Trump lost, I was like, you know what? I ain't even gonna vote for Trump. This nigga got it in the bag.
Mhm.
I'm watching the shit. I was like, oh my god, I should have fucking voted. I thought that shit was literally in the bag.
Mm-mm.
And it wasn't, and there it was.
wasn't.
And I know people,
was.
and I know people.
There was.
It was honestly that whole era of like voting, bro. I remember I knew people that would cry if you voted for Trump. Like, nigga, you voted for Trump, we can't be cool. I was like, God.
Oh no,
damn.
they were getting like overly emotional about like that shit was getting like heated. Like you be at bars, people were throwing hands.
My
over
daughter
that shit,
one time
like...
told me I was a devil because I voted for Trump, and I was like, God damn.
It's like,
whoa, Donald Trump supported everyone in New York.
Stop.
He did.
He's like only in New York though.
No, but I mean, Donald Trump back in the 90s, that nigga was legend in fucking New York. That nigga was like running the YMCA.
Yeah.
He was fucking putting money in the hoods and shit, but
that still doesn't negate the fact that he's a fucking asshole.
He is.
He's a bona fide asshole.
he is. But I mean, with that much money,
Worldwide.
but but you gotta think about it. If you have that much money, you honestly can say whatever the fuck you want.
Fair. I mean, I guess to an extent.
I mean, you
though,
can say
to
whatever
an
you want right
extent.
now.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
I
If
say
I really
whatever I
wanted
want.
to, but if you got empathy and you actually care about people, then
One thing I fucked with that nigga is for the fact that he would like, they'd be like, so Donald Trump, so you breaking these laws and taking these shortcuts? He's like, yeah, I am. The same one that this bitch is too.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? You
I
know?
do give him that though.
Because it's true. Like, y'all niggas should learn how to, you guys should use my CPA.
Facts.
Because that nigga gets me money.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
nah, man. And talking about the whole human experience, the only reason I bring it up is because this nigga Cat Williams kind of said, because they kind of were talking about like how life has double purpose, right?
Yes.
So it's like everyone's always saying it's like, oh, we was put on this earth for whatever reason, but you're not supposed to be getting high off these things, you know? But honestly, you were supposed to get high off this. So the whole purpose, like, so Joe Rogan asked Cat Williams and he was like, so what's the reason for humans? And Cat Williams literally said the whole reason for us to be here is for the human experience. And that shit like resonated on me so hard because if you think about it, we're only supposed to be here just to like experience each other and hang out, talk shit.
But
and
so
live.
why do we forget that though? Why do you think we forget that? Because we get so caught up in all this materialistic.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
Social media,
and we're just so.
bullshit.
And the thing is, like, not even us. Like our parents already like brought up in that mindset. You know, like our grandparents might have given some slack, and their grandparents were definitely not into that type of world. But like,
you think the next few generations are gonna break out of that? I think they're gonna get more enslaved into it.
Yeah. Because they're more already enslaved into phones and all that shit. And the other thing is like kids right now are soft as shit.
So, and I mean the kids now too. I mean they're using AI like crazy. I mean they're using the AI for the art. They're using the AI for work.
How do you feel about that?
That's what I was getting at. Because when you talk about AI and human experience, we can get kind of complicated here because they're trying to get it to where you pass away, they can upload your ass to the cloud. Like I don't know if you've ever seen. It is fucked up. Like they even had the Black Mirror episode about that too.
Yeah, but they also had that movie with Johnny Depp.
Which movie with Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp. He literally he dies and he turns into he's like in the rain. It's called Cellular or some shit like that.
I want to say I do know.
No, Singular. I don't know. But anyways, Johnny Depp dies, and eventually he was like even in rain.
Okay.
Like this motherfucker was
kind of like Lucy or something, where it becomes everything is everything type.
Yeah, he was like a robot, and he even made a world where like not like a town. He had ran solar panels and all that crazy.
I did see that,
no, but it's a trippy ass movie because like.
But when you think about stuff like that, though, like does that not kind of fuck with your idea of like the human experience? Because like if you can taint that, then
yeah. But my thing is right now, like what's really bothering me about the AI. I mean, so I know a lot of tattoo artists that are using it now for like doing their artwork and all that shit. But I feel like that's kind of whack too because like, I mean, you're not creating. And again, it's taking away the person that like really loves this shit. Like art's getting too technical, and it's fine because art. There is a technique, so it is a trade. Yeah, but there's no
right or wrong way.
No, there
to
isn't.
do art.
But another thing is they're definitely making it into a trade. Like there's a formula to it, and I don't like it because there's no more feel. And and that's the thing about tattoos. Like the tablet has made it so much easier for people. The new tattoo machines have made it so much easier for people. The fact that you can stencil a tattoo and make it look perfect without having to hand draw it. So it's like all these corners are being cut. But my biggest thing right now too is the fact that they got like robots tattooing people now.
They
And
got
it's
robots
like
doing a lot of stuff now.
they do, but it's kind of fucked up because like who the fuck said that it's and then to me is like it has to be the nigga that wants to own a shop and not tattoo. Because he's like, you know what, I'm gonna fill the shop with a bunch of robots. Because I never signed a petition or never said like, I don't want a tattoo for money no more.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like nigga, build robots for roads.
Yeah.
Like build a robot to clean the bathroom.
Yeah, but they're trying to have those robots for everything, though.
Everything,
they're
like-
trying to for everything. I'm already starting to see like little stuff that pops up online of them using robots to like box stuff or robots to like do surgeries and like stuff like
Yeah,
weird.
but I
stuff,
think
like,
that's cool though.
The
Like
surgeries
surgery
and stuff?
because the fact is with the surgery is like it's so precise. The robot, like he's legit. Huh? One killed somebody? I believe it. Cause that's another thing. That shit can just like high wire.
That's my concern.
And she died.
Like
That's
technology is
fucked up.
great until it isn't. That goes even for what we have in our hands.
And another thing is crazy too, because like if you think about it, I don't know what's the like the rate of death for a doctor, but I mean, if a robot kills you, you really can't sue nobody.
Damn. I mean, mine is the maker, the manufacturer.
You can probably sue the hospital, but like to an extent, like, but like, if a doctor fucked up, you can literally bring the whole fucking place down.
If a
'Cause it's
robot fucks up, I'm bringing the whole fucking place down.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, it's a robot. Like, you already signed the rules of the robot. Like bullshit.
That's the thing. They probably do make you sign.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Cause I had a homeboy that had cancer, and so I had one homeboy. They went inside, they cut up all the cancer and all that, and then I have a homeboy that they literally put lasers through his body to kill the cancer. And I was like, bro, that's fucking kind of crazy. Cause like he
That
doesn't have that
sounds
many.
crazy.
He didn't even have that many scars or nothing. But the fact that he has only 4 little holes, and the laser just chopped up everything inside, and that was it. And he survived.
I mean, the future is now.
It is, but it's like,
Huh.
I don't know. I feel like there has to be a cap. There got to be a cap to
I
all
mean, when
this
you
shit.
say like they change people's eye colors now and everything. You saw the permanent stuff?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Y'all ain't see the permanent eye change?
I think that's just
You
crazy.
go up to New York and they
Yeah.
will permanently
Yeah.
change your eye color for
to
you.
green. You can get your dark brown eyes to green.
Purple, green,
Yeah.
blue, whatever. But and apparently it improves your vision too.
Really?
Supposedly. But
But
I'm sorry,
I've heard reviews that like after 10 years you start having like complications.
I bet you do. There's no way. They're almost like lasering like a contact to your eyeball.
I mean, if you look at LASIK surgery, is already a fucking crazy concept. How they literally
Well,
cut
but
your
LASIK
lens.
also fucks
and,
people
like,
up all the time.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the time.
And apparently LASIK only lasts like 5 to 10 years. Like you got to get it redone.
Mhm.
So I don't. What? Yeah.
Oh, what
see?
the LASIK fucks up after you have a baby?
I guess. I mean, your body changes when you have a
Yeah.
baby. Like you're literally breaking fucking DNA to give it to somebody else.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, I don't agree with that whole AI shit. I
Miracle.
don't fucking like the fact that everyone thinks they could be an artist right now either. I'm
Yeah,
not really
no.
into that. Like nigga, stay in your lane. Or just go
Yeah.
just work a regular job.
And I'll be honest, like down here in Miami too, like trying to be like an artist and like be an artist that's not just clout based or
Yeah.
like, you know, like I guess like pop based or whatever. It is hard because like down here, like it's all about like, oh, like did you know Meek
Yeah.
Mill or did you know Rick
Yeah.
Ross buy your shit? It's like it
Yeah.
don't even matter. It could look like who did and why they
Yeah.
did that shit, but if they bought it, you in.
Yeah.
Like and it's just,
And another thing is I feel like in South Florida, the culture, like you say that you're an artist and it's like, oh yeah, okay, you're just another fucking Miami
Mhm.
motherfucker. And
yeah.
it sucks because like, bro, no, this is my life, motherfucker.
Mhm.
Like I'm not no fucking Mickey Mouse ass shit. That's another thing I even told somebody the other day, and I'm really been forcing myself to like try harder, is because we live in a time that people are just recreating Mickey Mouse and no one's making
Over
a
and
Mickey
over,
Mouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We got to get back to being creators. Like
Mhm.
we're living in a
Yeah.
time that we're remaking the Ford, we're remaking the Chevy. Like there's no Chevys, there's no Dodges,
Mhm.
there's no like, there's no one creating anything anymore. Yeah, there's no pioneers to shit.
Nope.
And I feel like as artists, we have to try a little bit harder. There's another person that I met through Homegirl over here. Like, and like even the people with fashion. I don't like people with fashion right now because people with fashion right now is taking some jeans from the thrift store, cutting up another pair of pants,
Mhm.
and then fucking stitching it on it.
Nobody's actually creating like
Yeah,
some new shit.
and another thing is no
Mhm.
one's fucking ripping the whole shit apart and stitching the same new seam lines and doing.
Mhm.
People are literally putting their clothes on top of on other people's clothes.
Mhm.
It's like me. Like when I used to make T-shirts, I'm literally printing on Gildan.
Yeah.
But like the real motherfuckers back then were making their own shirts and printing on their own
Yep.
shirts. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
By
So
hand.
I feel
Mhm.
like now in a world that everything's getting so saturated and everything's so fucking fake and copy paste, if you're a real true artist, we really got to start pushing the envelope
Mhm.
of being original.
Yeah.
And another thing is I also realized too is the fact that like even with tattoos. So like right now they're about to pass a law for even like tattoo copyright that like because another thing a lot of the girls and are getting these small little tattoos, these little
Mhm. I've
dainty
seen 'em.
tattoos.
Mhm.
So people are just getting those ideas from Pinterest and people are getting
Mhm.
mad. It's like, bro, I drew that and you're tattooing it. So they're
They're
actually
not
gonna
getting
start.
credit.
Yeah, they're actually starting to make capitalize. If this is your art, no one can tattoo it.
Mhm.
And I even found out like, so let's say for instance in Grand Theft Auto, blushing in Grand Theft Auto, there's that guy that has a Joker,
Mhm.
the Joker tattoo, the new fucking Grand Theft Auto, and he wants to get paid. And he's like, y'all motherfuckers, this is me that you're making like,
Yeah. I mean,
and
but
I need
that's
to get
real,
paid.
though.
But
As
no,
an artist,
no, you
no.
know why? Because he doesn't have right to the art. Who has right to the art is a tattoo artist. So the tattoo artist wants to sue fucking Grand Theft Auto. He can
For
sue
taking his work.
for taking his work.
Yeah.
So there's people like, so there's like there's another thing. Cardi B, for instance, Cardi B in one of her covers, she had this dude like eating her out. And he had a big fucking her cover, her CD cover or some shit, with some dude eating her
missed
out,
that.
and she had a tattoo on her. On the guy had a tattoo on his back,
Okay.
and the nigga wanted. No, but the crazy thing is the nigga tried to sue because like, yo, you guys didn't ask for permission to have me on her cover, and that's my
Oh.
back. But he couldn't sue because Cardi B only picked that because she liked the artwork. She doesn't give a fuck about the nigga eating her out type shit. So the nigga that was able to sue was the nigga who did the tattoo on that nigga, and he sued Cardi B for that cover.
Oh, dang. So they like double teamed her then, basically. Is that
Nah,
what happened? Or
I'm pretty sure that the artist just took his money and be like, nigga, fuck you. Because it's the
dang,
truth.
Probably. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh shit.
Probably.
And that's another thing is like, so, and I only learned this law too, is like fucking.
It comes from portraits. People have been tattooing very famous portraits for a long time. That was what you sent it to me. That was
No, but that's another thing. So this is the reason I learned it is so let's say you painted a mural on a building, right?
Mhm.
And that building is gonna get they're gonna break down the building. You have 90 days as an artist. You can sign a petition. It's called a Nova Act or some shit, and it's a petition to say that you have 90 days to take as much pictures and as much memorabilia of that wall before you break down the building.
Oh, okay.
So
That's down here in the state of Florida.
no, that's the actual United States law.
Oh, really?
For artists.
I did not know that.
And I
That's
found out because in
impressive.
New York, people graffiti buildings, and
Yeah.
then buildings become abandoned.
Mhm.
There's buildings that stay abandoned for 30 years. Graffiti
Mhm.
artists and artists go there and make their parties
Yeah.
and do that,
Mhm.
and it becomes a historical place.
Mhm.
Eventually, the guy gets a contract to sell the building, and everyone's like, "Bro, we've been partying here for 30 years,
Yeah.
nigga." And then, basically, in that story, what happened was he was forced to wait 90 days until they took every single picture of that fucking warehouse. And it's a big ass warehouse that what he literally did when he went to after they went to court and they sanctioned that,
Mhm.
he came that same night and painted the whole building white.
Wow.
Fucked up.
Wow. I like that story though.
So
Shit.
like
You
nah.
know, like,
So eventually
shit.
everyone like petitioned. The guy got sued. He got charged $6 million.
Damn.
He had the court ordered him to pay $6 million, and he had to pay that $6 million was contributed to all the artists that were in that building. If you can show proof that
That's
you're on that building,
impressive.
you
Mhm.
got paid. But it's like, bro, that just because that nigga was spiteful, was like, no, nigga, he wanted to make his money, and he could have
Mhm.
waited his 90 days, but
yeah.
they
man.
made that law just for us, basically. But it's cool because like,
Impressive.
and that also just teaches you like, one, you have your rights, and one, we should
Mhm.
try a little bit better to like try a little bit better to keep the like I don't know, keep your art alive in a way. I
Yeah.
don't fucking
No, I agree. Though we should try harder as artists to keep our.
real
I mean,
artists
our art's
Yeah.
gonna be here. We're not, no matter
At all.
what. It's a fact.
And through your art, what's the biggest message you're trying to spread?
I just don't want people to forget to feel. I feel like we're becoming so desensitized to everything. That's all. It's really
feel
just that simple. I just want people to look at my work and feel something and be like, "What was you going? Was you going through something?" I feel like this when I look at it. Do you? I love that when people like this make me feel like. Oh,
So do you
thank
feel like when you're down, do you paint brighter, and when you're happy, you paint darker? Like, what's your thing?
Like I said, I typically paint mainly when like I'm kind of going through stuff. So, I mean, it kind of just really depends. Like, I
Because
don't.
my thing is like I paint a lot of bright stuff and happy things. Thing is like you really can't think about anything else when you're painting.
No,
At
you're
all.
locked in. You're
Yeah.
everything's silent. It's just like
It's almost kind of weird, right?
it is.
And it's almost
weird.
like it's still to this day. It kind of reminds me. It's like you really do pause a lot when you
Life
paint.
pauses when you paint. Even when you have music blasting, you could
Yeah.
be dancing around the room, but everything is still yet still. It's the weirdest thing. But yeah, nah, I mean,
So you ever got into like more structural art, like
What do you mean?
3-dimensional? Or you like you've always
I like my figures.
yeah.
You know, it started with clothes on them. Now we've evolved to no clothes on them. Like I'm gonna stick to my figures.
What was that transition about? You was like, fuck it.
I don't know. That's the weirdest thing. I have no idea where that transition came from. Because, like I said, it started with the fashion designs, and then once I took that break, like that gap, and then once I picked up a paintbrush, and it was like no clothes, straight ass.
I used to draw a lot of fucking like I used to draw like a lot of figurative because I also used to do a lot of still life in college, and I would draw a lot of women, but like as a guy drawing women, you're always like sexualized, like you just.
Well,
It's
yes.
fucked up.
And most of the time people are like, so are you lesbian? You like girls? Like, are you? I'm like, it's always something
Yeah.
like that. It's never like, is this a representation of self or something?
Yeah,
but.
It's crazy how people kind of rush to those type of conclusions just because.
But that goes back to what you were saying in the beginning, though, with like, some of the artists that, where it's like, oh, like, let me paint, the same Mickey Mouse or something. And then I'm going to, push my
Yeah.
titties and make it look good. And then it's sold.
I hate
You know
that
what I mean?
shit.
Sex
fucking
sells
hate
though.
that
It's just
shit.
like that's all most of the time that's what people are thinking about. They see shit and they're like, how can I somehow sexualize this or whatever?
Yeah. That's the
So,
thing is like I don't know. I like Renaissance. Like I like the Renaissance era just
yeah,
because
but
the colors.
even that nowadays can even get sexualized.
Oh, I know.
Like, and they just be laid out. They don't
Yeah.
be doing nothing, and they're like, so.
I feel you. So nowadays, where I know you say you do a lot of shit, but I feel like what's other ways that you find your inspiration?
It's tough, man. I'm gonna be honest, because inspiration just kind of hits when it hits. I can't fake and say that like I be making up. Like,
So do you ever find yourself that you're stagnant and you're like, hold on, I gotta
all the
fucking paint some.
time.
Yeah.
Painter's block is a. I
Yeah.
get it all the time. There's so.
But
many...
you don't force yourself to paint when you can't paint, do you?
I do sometimes. There are times where like I have to force myself. Like if I start noticing I've gone way too long without painting, I'll force myself. If it's even squiggly lines, like just paint something, like just to get it going. And that usually jump starts.
But at the same time, are you talking about you force yourself when there's already a project being at progress, or like, let's say all your projects are done and you haven't painted in a month? Are you like upset that you haven't painted in a month? Or you just like you're gonna wait?
I'm gonna be upset.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Before I started painting again, I didn't paint for 3 years.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy.
Yeah, they go through those little moments.
I was like,
though.
what the fuck? There's a gap.
But when you came back, was your work even better though?
Oh, hard as fuck.
Yeah, that's
Even
the craziest thing about it.
And yeah, no, that's crazy
so
too.
crazy.
Because another thing is like
now
you're not really practicing on it.
Yeah, that's what makes it wild.
And it's like, damn, how the fuck did I get so good?
That's literally what
But
happened.
it's because another thing is like within those years, you're still taking in knowledge. You're still perceiving things as what you are.
Especially as an artist, you're probably capturing light and you're noticing like, oh, if I would have done that, huh? And then once you actually have the color in your hand, you're like, oh shit.
Because either way, as an artist, your life is always a study.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was like yesterday, I fucking went to the park and I sat at the park for like an hour, and I laid on the grass and I'm looking at the grass, and I would just keep getting lost into depth. So I would like register like how far my brain would like until you notice the depth of detail, and then when it turns into a fade, and then when it just turns into shapes.
Yeah.
And I would just look at it over and over again. I was like, and it's crazy because
But
like
that is like a mental practice though.
It
without
is.
you actually physically
no, I know.
practicing.
And I was telling Stephanie about that shit was the fact that is like the whole thing as an artist when you do stuff like that, like mental exercise, you're prepping yourself as a canvas. You know what I mean? So even though like you're not drawing it, the fact that you have it in your brain, it registers to like when you come into a painting. Cause that's another thing is like, cause when I started drawing, not obviously, but when I first started drawing, I was like a doodler. I always sketched, doodle, did graffiti and all that shit. And eventually I remember, I think I was like 10, 11 years old and someone in school was like, hey, you should color that. And then that got me into drawing versus just sketching. Cause I was just a sketcher. Cause my whole thing, I was a landscape guy. I always drew landscapes and I drew like figurative shit and I'll just draw things in motion.
Okay.
But until someone told me to color it, I didn't really become the artist that I am today. And
it's crazy how sometimes things like that have to like take play just for you to.
And it's funny because like what kept me in art is like my major was architecture, mathematics and architecture. And then eventually I worked as an architect for a year and a half. It was just too corporate for me. And then I was already getting tattoos. And my boss was like, oh, you can't go to the meeting, Josh, because you got an arm sleeve. And I was like, damn, nigga, I'm your main architect.
Dang.
So I was like, fuck this shit. I ain't with this.
Even if you wore like, because what was it you had on your hand too?
No, not at that time. But yeah, I mean, I would have to wear a full sleeve, but I didn't like that shit.
Yeah. Were you still down here in Florida too?
No, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I've been
too
here.
hot for that sometimes.
Yeah. No, fuck that shit. And honestly, me is like, I don't feel right having to cover myself when like, nigga, there's no reason for me to cover myself up. Like, what the fuck does this tattoo?
Right, corporate's different.
No, it is. But the crazy thing is like, bro, what the fuck does this arm tattoo have to do with your house? Like, nigga, I already drew your house.
Yeah.
The house is approved. You know what I mean? The design's approved. So like, nigga, this tattoo obviously didn't hurt the design.
You're not yet. So
you're not approving this because I got an arm sleeve. So
that's
it's like,
crazy.
bro, this shit's fucking retarded. It made no sense to me at all. And then that's when I was like, fuck it, bro. I'm gonna do this artist shit. And then honestly, it's like the best thing ever because I actually lived that artist life. I never sold out. I've stayed consistent to it. I've stayed true with the broke and the riches of it. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? And that's what like shit. Being an artist is like being a fucking dope dealer, nigga.
For
like
real.
an OG.
It's a hustle. It is a full blown hustle.
Cause like the OGs, you're only an OG because you go through the ups and downs.
Yeah,
of it. You're like, oh, I only sold drugs in the fucking music festival.
That's how you know only the strong survive though, because there's people that can't get through, and they're like, I'm going straight back to 9 to 5. You know, and it's like,
and that's the same thing even with like tattoos. There's people that get into it, think they're gonna make money, and realize that there's seasons even on tattoos.
Yeah,
and they fucking there's 4 months you're not making money, nigga, and they all go back to their regular jobs.
Yeah,
and that's like.
But it'll come back around. It always does. You just gotta know how to get through those, you know, those slow seasons.
But again, it's like for me and you, we know no other. So it's like
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Me neither. And honestly, I can't even see like myself turning back. Like I can't. My brain's already on the side to be confined into all this bullshit. So what are you looking forward to as an artist in general now that you're in Florida? With all these posers and shit. How do you maintain yourself from not getting inspired by whackness?
How do I keep myself from being inspired?
Because there's a lot of people like that's another reason I don't even like to follow artists because then you low-key start biting their shit.
Well, I don't think I ever like really bite anybody, but definitely get kind of inspired. Like certain people like, oh, I kind of want to try something like that, or like, oh, like maybe like try that depth and color, or making it look like, you know, it radiates or something like that.
My thing is I like palettes.
What do you mean, like just color palettes overall?
Like sometimes what I like about an artist is I like their palettes. Like, oh, I want to try.
Oh yeah, you know absolutely, absolutely. I have a few artists that I follow whose like palettes are just like. And I'm just like, how do you do that? Because it's like a certain technique. Everybody has their own little thing that they do. And it's just, you know, however you get it. But I don't know, man. I'm just excited to be down here because, like I said, again, the art scene is, regardless of the phony, the fake, like there's so many different.
But back home, there was not a big art scene?
No. Charlotte, we have a really big, like, mural scene out there, whatever.
I feel like that's new, though, over there, right?
It's pretty new.
Yeah.
But the muralists who are doing well, like it's a group. Like it's kind of they're not really. I don't see much in Charlotte them outreaching to other like creatives like much. It's not like a lot of. It's more of like, oh, we're the ones type of vibe.
I got you. And my question
Y'all are
is,
amazing though. Just
yeah.
saying.
But no, my
still.
thing is like you being over there. You didn't feel like you could you kind of shine more because there just wasn't that many.
No. No. The vibe is just different. People don't necessarily like they just not looking at that. In Charlotte, what they want
Moonshine.
everything to be moonshine. But they also want everything to be like hyper realistic. They want, like that's really what they're going for. That hyper realism right now, and everything needs to be like a huge mural. And it's like they're not looking for anything that's like any different or any.
So my thing is how do you even feel about hyper realistic? What's your opinion about it?
I think the technique itself is amazing. I personally, I just wouldn't see myself paying someone to paint a picture of something that I literally can just take a picture of myself. That's just me. Because there's no really like creativity to it. You're literally painting a picture.
Yeah, and that's my thing too. So like I've always said that too. It's like, yeah, sure, I will. Like I'm still teaching myself to get better with realism. Like I can do it. It just takes a lot of fucking time. Yeah. But the thing is like, there's no creativity to painting something that you can literally take a picture of. And that's one thing that kind of bothers me of it. Is like, dude, you literally just painted what I just saw in this picture. And that's all it is.
The technique is amazing though. Every time I see it, you're like, damn.
Because I'm not gonna lie. The other day I posted a picture on my Instagram. This guy it was like a clown sitting like this, and he made it look porcelain.
He made hyper realistically made it look porcelain on
with
paper.
Spray cans.
With spray cans.
Sick.
That sounds sick.
And it was like you can see the rainbow effect of the gloss and the porcelain. Wow. And it was so fucking good. And
can you imagine how many spray paint cans he had to use?
I'm gonna look it up right now while we're talking. But like the crazy thing is, the fact was like.
By the way, can we talk about how expensive art supplies are, and why y'all need to buy artist work?
It is, and it's funny because like some people are like, oh, I'm not gonna pay $500. It's like, bitch, this tube of paint is like fucking $40, and I used the whole fucking tube. Oil's expensive.
Oil's especially.
Because what do you use, Isaac Newton?
Look, I got a few different ones. Whichever one I can catch on sale is what I'm getting because those ones literally they go for like $39 for one tube of paint. It's insane. Yeah. But like spray paint can, same thing, $10 a can.
Oh well, look at this fucking thing. This was at the reggae event.
Yeah, that goes crazy.
Insane.
No, that goes
even
crazy.
The tongue looks fucking real.
I feel like that.
That was at the reggae event that was over here in West Palm Beach the other day. But look at this one. This shit right here. Can't even see this nigga's name now. Now it's not loading. Damn it. But no, like, bro. Sometimes I get stuck on these paintings because you just look at it and like, bro, how the fuck? And it's crazy because sometimes they make solid lines, but it doesn't read solid. It reads like it's saturated in it. And you're like, what the fuck?
Because they have to start with like a base of like a solid like line, right? And then they go
then you
on
fade
top
it
of
out.
Yeah. But spray paint is just different. I could not. Because it's something about the flick of the wrist. It's something about that.
Well, another thing you got to know about spray paint is it's not your wrist, it's your elbow. You work your arm.
See,
and when you paint, and when you paint with spray paint with big parts, like big canvases, you move your body. You don't
your
move
whole body. You're not. You're doing.
You're moving like even with shapes. And it's even with tattoos. When you tattoo, you don't. Your wrist is not your pendulum. Your elbow. So you lock your elbow and then you pull your line like that. So it's like shit like that. But like, oh look right here. Look at this shit.
Oh wow, no, that's dope. I don't even like clowns, but that's fire.
that looks so fucking real. It literally looks like glossy
that goes crazy.
Porcelain.
That goes
and my
crazy.
boy was like, "Bro, if you saw that shit in person,
I bet
I can't." You just look at it like, what the fuck?
It's probably trippy as hell in person, though, for real.
But I mean,
see, that's creative though. Like you kind of try to do something different that like tricks the eye, makes you really like.
But that's different because I'm sure you didn't. There's probably not really a picture.
Kind
of
like
that.
What's the one I feel like everybody always paints? Like the honey thing right now, where everyone's painting somebody with honey falling on them,
pouring
like,
on their face.
See it all the time. Like that's a thing now.
Yeah.
You know. which
And
they do phenomenal. But
They do.
it's a
but
thing. It's not like
we have a homie that just did one of those recently in black and gray.
oh,
But
see?
yeah, but it's like I don't know. There's like you said, there's no creativity. And it's kind of nice to hear someone else say it because like there's so many people trying so hard for this realism, and it's like, bro, stop. Just stop. Just do what's in your fucking brain.
I think we as artists too, we're trying to like satisfy too, like what everybody else wants. Like everybody else wants it to look so real. Everybody wants it to look, like especially the people that don't really know
Yeah.
like art and don't really understand creativity. And I really think that artists should really like, hey, like focus on like what's in here and what you can put out and what you can
Yeah.
create into this world, what you can because literally what you're creating. It's an act of God himself, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. The fact that we're able to pull something from our head and create it onto paper and it never even existed before that.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I like that.
It is. It's a blessing to have that
It is.
gift.
And honestly, it's like, I mean, yeah. And it's like, again, we're back to like drawing realism is like back to the copy paste. It's like, cool, bro. You literally you're a fucking human printer.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Mhm.
But no, like even right now, I just got a contract for a mural project at a gym. And like I'm over here taping and laying everything out. And then I'm explaining, and that's my favorite part as an artist, is like you tell people and people just don't see it.
Mhm.
And then as it starts building, like, "Oh, I get now what you were telling me the whole
Yeah.
time." And it's
Mhm.
dope because like you finally get to take this shit out of your fucking brain
Yep.
and put it in front of like even like this whole place,
Yeah.
Like I was telling people how I want to design and lay it out,
Mhm.
and it was like, what the fuck you talking about, bro? And it was like, now it's
Yep.
here.
And now it's just
And it's like,
manifested
yeah.
just like
And,
that.
This was in my brain this whole fucking time.
You're an alchemist. You didn't
I
even
am.
realize it.
Hey, talking about alchemy and all that other stuff, it's the other day I quoted it, is that song Patient by Damian Marley
Okay.
and Nas.
I don't think I've heard it.
And that song, honestly, I used to like the song a lot, but it just got so annoying because you would hear it when that album first came out, like as it was written. I think that was the name of the album.
Mhm.
It was oh no,
The name of the album is As It Was Written.
no, the name of the album is like
It was written.
something, no, from the same
was
tribe
written?
or some shit. The Nas and Damian Marley album.
Hmm.
But anyways, they have a song as it was written in there. But the whole thing about the songs, it talks about like alchemy, like, and how we used to be able to read the stars. We
Mhm.
used to be able to read palms. We used to be able to all read cards.
Mhm.
We all used to have heavy spiritualities that we were able to
Mhm.
talk to gods. And it's funny because like even in the beginning of the songs, he says the smartest dummies don't even understand the scriptures from the mummies and shit. And it's like, bro, these niggas are so
It's real,
smart,
though.
but don't know shit.
Yeah.
And then another thing, in one of his other verses, he talks about, were we born knowing everything and taught to not know nothing? Or did we not know nothing and learned everything? And it's like, dude, actually, it's like,
I think it was the first one just saying.
it was. We actually knew the truth at one point.
Like kids, like all the time, kids have like those little episodes where they're like, oh, like I was this person in this life, and
bro, that shit's
you're
crazy.
not my mom.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck?
Nah, I used to see like videos back in the days. There was those kids that like the World War II kids,
Mhm.
and they would have like panic attacks in their dreams. Like, he's like, yeah, yo, crazy,
That shit is
yo.
crazy. But then when they get older, they start to forget. and
Niggas a
stuff like that. Like, it's weird how
35-year-old
that
fucking
works.
fighter jet pilot from Vietnam type shit. Like, nigga, what? You're 2 years old. It's like, no,
Mhm.
mommy, I'm not.
Yeah, it's like he's like, I just was in that plane.
Yeah, I was bombing fucking Japanese
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
That should be
No, bro,
crazy.
life is crazy. And then they tell us like reincarnation's far fetched. And
no,
even in
I don't think so.
And it's funny because the song even
I think
says like
anything's far-fetched.
he even says the fact that it's like at one point we believed the world was flat. Now we believe the earth is round. And the next person who says a different thing about the world, we're gonna laugh at.
Mhm.
And it's like, bro, we don't know
Mhm.
shit. We really don't know shit.
Mhm.
And
We
like,
don't.
and it sucks because we've been lied for so long. And even we had this one guy in the podcast, Renee, and he kind of mentions it, it's like, bro, indigenous man, like the story of the white man has been around only for 4,000 years, but
Mhm.
indigenous man been here from billions of years.
Way before.
So it's kind of
Mhm.
fucked up. And then another thing is like I watch all this other shit and it's like fucked up that is like caveman used to actually bury themselves. Indigenous man used to make fucking tombs
Mhm.
and bury people above grounds and make big buildings to send their people to their gods.
Hmm.
So it's like It's like we were way advanced than we thought than we were.
I mean, well, they say that like even till this day, we don't have the technology that could actually build those pyramids. Till this day, apparently.
Yeah.
So that alone says, what the hell was they doing back then that we forgot about it now?
But I honestly is like, I watch a lot of like lately I've been really into like when the world resets. Apparently, the world resets every 6 to 12,000 years.
Okay.
And even like if you look at back at the story of Babylon,
Are we close to a reset?
Yeah, we are. Or we're over the reset. That's what's actually happening right now at this.
Is that why like people feel like we kind of like did like some weird like reality skip?
My boy Pedro put me down, but no, Mandela effects is actually it's low key fake. No, Mandela effect is real, but it's also fake because what they're doing is they're trying to test how good our memory is, and a lot of people have been proving like, no, nigga. I have a video of when I was a little girl or a little boy, and that shit says fucking Chips Ahoy.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I mean? And like shit like that. And it's like, no, bro, they're literally testing us, you know? Like, there was no yellow Power Rangers. Like, bitch, just say where the bitch was Chinese.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. That's how ridiculous it is.
It is. Yeah, they're coming up with crazy shit.
But another thing is like, so look, right now, if you look at our solar system, Earth is by itself. Literally by itself on one side of the whole.
Is that live? I don't put it on my phone.
I know.
We had a
taught me that
solar
shit.
system on
And
here.
I was like, nigga, we're over here by ourselves? Bro, even the sun. The other day I was standing outside. I was like, bro, this sun is not being blocked by any planets.
No,
This is
not
direct.
at all. That was direct sun the other day.
No, what about it? No.
We just had a solar eclipse too, didn't we?
Nigga, we have so much shit going on this year. But another thing
Did y'all
is,
see that? Did y'all see the eclipse? Everybody missed that?
Was it here?
We had like a whole solar eclipse. Yeah.
I know sometimes like some places don't get the view, the full spectrum. You know what I mean?
Pretty sure we were supposed to have gotten it. No. Didn't we talk about this?
No, I haven't seen one in
I thought
April
I Googled
4th?
it or something.
April 4th.
Oh, it ain't happened yet.
And what? It's
Are we gonna be able to see it?
Oh, that's dope. I remember we had one of those. We had one a couple years ago.
No, we had one. We were like children.
No. I had one recently because I did it with my kids. And I want to say at least 6-7 years ago.
I had one.
No. Because in Florida we had one and like it was almost completely black, but we had that little crust at the bottom.
In the middle of the day?
Yeah. And it got dark in the middle of the day. No, it was like literally like 5-6 years ago. I'm telling you, because I'm pretty sure my son was alive. And he was like probably 2. Yeah. It's very rare. But another thing is that you also got to understand, not everyone gets the full spectrum. So like that one that happened, right? Charlotte got the perfect one because my brother sent me a picture that it was like completely dark in North Carolina. It went pitch black.
And this was a few years ago?
I want to say less than 5 years.
Oh, I might have been overseas or something when that happened.
Or what? When was it?
I would remember that.
2017?
That's the one that Trump like looks at it.
Yeah, I feel like that was the one I saw. 2017. No, that still doesn't feel right.
I'm telling you, it was definitely recent because I literally remember telling my daughter about it, and I never really saw one in my life, and I was like, damn, it went dark in this motherfucker.
Damn. Well, it's about to go dark again.
No, but right now, like, we're about to go on a reset, and the reason why a lot of this shit happens is because, so basically this is the prediction. We have 8 billion people in the world. Only about 500 million people will survive out of 8 billion.
Where are we trying to survive?
I don't know.
What are we surviving? Oh,
So
we don't know yet?
No, so we got a polar shift.
So we need a bunker.
They also say don't go underground.
They
'cause
said
the
don't go
ground's-
underground?
Yeah, no.
So what if,
We're literally about to have like another Pangea.
like Noah's Ark type shit?
Yeah. Basically, this is the only options you have. Is either you stay at sea and you maintain between the fucking waves, or you stay above the sky. But all this is gonna
How are
happen
you
for
gonna
at
stay
least.
above the sky though?
But you got to be above the
in
surface.
mountains.
No, or flying. But you got to fly for 10-15 years.
I was like, ain't no way you gonna do.
Like the 100, the TV show, they send us to outer space for 100
Yeah,
Oh
for 100
yeah,
years.
that type shit. I saw that.
So
Mhm.
basically, when all this shit happens, the world will not be like almost inhabitable for 10-15 years. But honestly, from what I've been reading, as long as you're brown, you're gonna be all right.
As long as you're melanated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good.
I mean,
And I only get darker.
I was gonna say, sit out in the sun for a little while.
I only get
Building that shit.
Huh?
Go to space.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go out
I
there.
don't know if I want to go to space
Yeah,
either.
I'm not in a rush.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I'll leave that to
I
them.
don't know if I want to be in space, and I don't want to be at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, no. But yeah, we're definitely about to go into like a major reset. Polar shift will happen probably in the next 10 to 15 years.
You think we're really gonna see like in our lifetime?
Oh, we will.
We're gonna see like some crazy.
No, we
like,
will. Have you ever seen the movie Crudes?
Crudes,
Yeah,
like
the cartoon,
yeah.
the caveman cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real. That's about to happen. Remember when the dad was like they were running through the fucking village and the fucking ground split up and the family was on one side of the. That's gonna happen.
Don't scare me.
Oh no, it's the truth. That's what's actually. That's why a lot of people are going through a lot of crazy shit. Fucking mentally, some people are like their brains are fucking rewiring because it's just the waves, the fucking waves,
frequencies and shit's shifting.
Yeah, we got to make honestly. As artists, I feel we got to start getting into that 3D sculpture shit because I don't think canvas is gonna last that long. If you look at all these motherfuckers that they dig out,
always.
Yeah, I know, and pottery.
Somehow. Might be missing a finger, but it's gonna be there.
Yeah, you got pottery, statues, sculptures are the only things that last. If you look at everything if you watch fucking what's that show, that alien show that everyone, Ancient Aliens.
I haven't watched that.
Ancient Aliens?
I haven't watched Ancient Aliens.
That shit's legit. Ever? You gotta if you don't
you watched it once?
No, you gotta watch Ancient Aliens.
My mom.
No, you gotta watch Ancient Aliens with Action Bronson and friends. And it's just them getting high as fuck, taking dabs, and just talking shit. It's like, bro, those aliens are crazy.
Was that on YouTube or something?
No, it's on.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But it's on Nat Geo. Ancient Aliens. It's fucking funny as fuck. But it's funny because like in Ancient Aliens, all that shit's statues, man. Statues, potteries, and architects will last forever.
I would really love to get into pottery though, especially have you ever seen like
What do you wanna make?
like the it's like the clay that they put on the wall where it's almost like they're doing like the statue but on the wall though, where it's like they're actually taking the clay and they're like molding it and they're creating a whole 3D like, you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I mean, it's almost like stucco, you know, like in you look
Yeah,
at
it's
some
like
Florida
stucco.
So you know, in like
basically.
Florida ceilings in the bathroom, you see how they scoop it and make
So
it
they're
texture.
doing, but they're making like women figures and like Greek
that's
gods
dope.
like that, like coming out the walls and stuff with
That's
it.
dope.
It is dope. I've seen the videos where they're getting
Honestly,
it.
with this space, I want to start doing bigger shit like that.
That'd be dope.
Because
That'd be
another
dope
thing
as
is you
hell.
get some chicken wire, and then you can buy actual pounds of clay, and you apply it on the chicken wire and build it.
Yeah,
there's
that's
also-
that's what I'm talking about. Doing exactly that.
And then there's another thing. Oh, and you can also do paper mache, build it with paper mache, and then fucking put the stucco on it. Another thing, there's this place in West Palm Beach. You can buy slab of stone, big pieces of stone, and then you just start chipping.
Huh.
I met this lady. She just became a
For
sculptor.
cheap?
I mean, you can just buy the cheaper stone, you know?
Okay.
Like
I'm thinking like
limestone.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking like
Like,
marble stone
nah.
or so. I'm like,
Nah,
sir,
dude, look.
I'm not
Nah,
trying to
dude,
get no $1,000 piece of stone to chip it.
To chip it. To chip it out. But no, I met this lady one time doing an AC job, and she was like 65 years old, and she had all these statues around her house, and I was like, who the fuck made all this shit? She's like, me. I was like, how long you been doing this? Oh, 5 years. I just picked it up the other day, and I just realized I was good. Bro, this lady had this, I'll never forget this statue, and I almost want to do it myself. She made a water buffalo.
Okay.
And the fucking way that she did the texture of the hide on the top, you know how it's like nappy hair, and then the back of their body is like suede. Yo, that fucking marble looked like nappy hair.
Oh, really?
And it had that texture of like thick wool hair, and it was so sick. Fucking loved it. But
That's interesting. You didn't get a picture of that either or nothing?
No, that shit was back in the days. I mean, right, if I had a picture of that shit, like our phones would probably break. Like that shit would just be like
when I'm like super blurry, pixelated.
It was like with the Motorola Nokia phone type shit. Like it wouldn't be the good quality.
But razors.
That's one thing as an artist I want to start pushing into more, because another thing as I've always admired, like Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali actually he was a good artist, but he wasn't like, at his time, he wasn't no one special.
At his time.
Yeah, but the thing that made him dope was the fact that motherfucker has a collection of like 10,000 pieces.
And they're all trippy as shit.
And they're all different.
Every last one of them is
Like,
on
even-
another next level shit.
Like he had one of his art pieces is literally a lobster phone. That shit's boss as fuck. He literally took an old phone and put a lobster on top of it and painted it all together.
I love Salvador Dali. I absolutely love him, and I think that.
Have you been to his museum in Tampa?
No, I haven't been to his museum
You
in
got
Tampa.
to.
I need to go to it. But he is like, he literally stands for exactly what we've been saying this whole all night.
Oh, full creativity.
About full creativity.
Yeah.
Because that man, that was it.
Yeah.
That came straight from the dome.
Yeah. Salvador Dali is as closest to Alex Gray. You know Alex Gray?
Alex Gray.
Alex Gray is the guy that draws everything that DMT. You know the
Oh,
band.
yes, I know exactly what you're talking
So
about.
you know the band Tool?
The band Tool? No.
Tool is like a rock band.
Mm-mm.
So they did all those covers, but yeah, and it's, Alex Gray.
He's the one who it kept changing throughout his life, and then towards the end, it was like completely like warped.
No, I'm gonna show you right now. He's the only person that can actually draw like a psychedelic experience.
Oh no, yeah, we were thinking about two different artists.
But no, like
I've seen those before. Like,
look at that.
Sit like this. Okay. He has a whole showcase in Vegas.
Does he?
Like they have a whole like experience where you walk in. It's almost like you're like inside of that. Like it's a whole thing. It's really cool though.
And honestly, I can't even grasp that shit because this motherfucker would take an eyeball and bring that eyeball all the way to the center to like a point to like this thin. Like it's insane.
That is wild.
But it's dope because when you do DMT and like heavy psychedelics like that, you do see that realm.
You can see all that.
So,
I'm a little too scared to go that deep.
But have you tripped mushrooms?
On accident.
accident?
I wasn't
Sounds
ready.
like an Eminem song.
I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready?
I wasn't ready.
Well, what's an accident?
It
You
was-
thought
it-
it was
it was
you thought
a-
it was a chocolate weed edible and it was a mushroom edible?
No, I wish. I don't know if you remember. So back in the day, so I was
Back in the days.
when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. That was that shit. Now back in the day, I was like 17 years old. I was living in Philadelphia at the time.
Okay.
And I had like a little squad. It was probably like 9, 10 of us. We were sitting on the stairs, being bad, mind our business. One of our little friends came over and he was like, I got this new legalized weed. Now y'all know at 17, we was not legalized at all.
No,
like
no,
not
no,
even
no.
close. So he's like, I got this new legalized weed. It's in a little bag and everything. And we're like, great, we're all gonna smoke some weed. So
Legal weed.
he rolls this one blunt up with the shit. Every last one of us hit it, maybe once or twice. Not even, it was to
Yeah.
puff pass. Well, I'm telling you, first friend falls out, starts having a seizure. Next friend starts humping cars in the street. Next friend goes pale white. And
What was
she
it? Salvia?
Some K2 spice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't even know how we survived that shit. I almost
That shit
died
was a
that
crazy
night.
ass era.
No, it was a crazy era, and ever since then, though, I've been too
Nah.
scared to trip. I'm like, you know what? I don't never want to go back there again.
I
Like,
knew
that was
I knew
terrifying.
someone that literally blew their whole credit card on Spice.
What?
$7,000 worth
Why
of
would
Spice.
you do that? Was he trying to kill himself?
Yeah, synthetic
Yeah, it's
weed.
like it's not even synthetic. I don't know what the fuck that shit is.
So it was literally potpourri spray with like roach spray.
Yeah, like some crazy shit that should
Bro,
not be
Spice was
sold.
crazy.
Yo, that shit was off.
But
that was,
that's also the same era when we started making that bath salt. And it was like legal
Yeah.
cocaine.
and everybody
can-
thought everybody was turning to zombies and
Yeah.
shit.
Niggas are eating people's faces and shit.
Because
but nah.
certain things should not be inhaled.
Nah, it's crazy because I remember a lot of my boys were on papers at that time, would get on probation or in the military or
Mhm.
wanted to be cops because at that time I was in my early 20s. So everyone was like over here about to chase, like getting into
Mhm.
their professions.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll smoke Spice. They're like, Josh, try this Spice. And I'm like, nigga, I
Mm-mm.
smoke weed.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Like, I don't need to smoke no fucking Spice.
Hell no. Don't do it. That was a crazy era, but since then I ain't never forgot.
I'm glad they took all that shit away. That shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, especially like it was easily accessible to kids. Like we were young yet. We were 17 years old.
That was the Obama era.
Yeah, we were young.
Because I
like-
remember Obama was the one that passed the laws that we couldn't have like flavored blunts no more.
Really?
Yeah, but that was a strategic attack against the Iranians because a lot of flavor like Virginia Slims, like all those flavor
Comes from
cigarettes.
Iran?
Yeah. So they cut
know that.
cut ties. I mean, that's when Dutch Masters literally stopped being from like overseas and it became like Dominican brands and shit. Because they took all that fucking pretty wrappers off.
Mhm.
It was all those shits were appealing to kids.
Yeah, it was.
There's
They
not-
was doing us dirty.
there's no
though.
flavor cigarettes anymore.
Yeah, but now everybody has the freaking what's the vapes?
Yeah, and that's even worse. You should just smoke a cigarette at this point.
Yeah, at this point. Look, I have family members who like those vapes. They not playing with you. In the
Yeah.
bed. Do not let that baby go missing.
Oh
Do not
yeah,
let it go
yeah.
out. Do not let anything
It's a crazy.
happen to
I
it.
feel like the addiction's worse than cigarettes because there's
really
people that like
is.
when they wake up, it's like they're looking
Mhm.
for it on their counter. Like,
As
yeah.
soon as you wake up, hit. Yeah. Yeah.
Shut the
It
fuck up.
is. Some of them is
Damn,
bad.
that would have been scary if I would have saw a bitch grabbing that shit while she was sleeping.
No,
I was like,
that's just bad.
yeah,
shit's
nah, for real.
bad.
Bitch, what's this? Were you trying to touch my phone? Nah, fuck that shit, bro. Fuck that shit. But besides all that, back to the regular shit. So what can we like see? What's the next big thing you got going on this year? What can we see of you this year?
We're gonna see more products. We're gonna see more paintings. We're gonna see me getting out more into the Miami art scene.
I feel that.
I
feel like we belong outside anyways. As an
I'm
artist,
outside.
not
but-
outside,
I'm not
outside.
outside, but you know,
But we do good outside.
maybe out in the tent.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll be in a portable bubble.
you know, something like that.
I'll be in a bubble boy suit.
We can step outside every once in a while, but
Nah,
like you know,
but as an artist, I feel like our life purpose is to interact and connect with
Yes.
people,
yes,
tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, what the fuck? As an artist, what good are you inside?
No, I don't know. I mean, I think that helps with the art itself too, though, is the actual connecting with people and experiencing life. Like that adds to all of that. I think if
Yeah.
you sit in your room, you're not doing anything, you're not talking to people, you're being, you know, exiled from everything or whatever you want to do. It's just the
It's
creativity.
like
doesn't
Mac
flow the
Miller
same.
says, a sunny day doesn't feel the same if you stay inside. It's not the same.
It's not. You gotta
So,
take your ass
you gotta- yeah.
outside
And
and experience it.
you have to, and I feel like again, and that's why we have to really focus on not trying to be the copy paste realistic artist. We literally gotta paint what we see because that literally tells the story of the time.
It does.
Really gotta
The
try
worst
hard.
won't be here. We not.
It isn't. I feel that. So are you planning to do any shows this year or just like you're still
Hopefully.
building?
Well, I'm building.
Yeah.
I'm building. You know, I just got situated. So
No, I know.
just got, you know, reacclimated and everything. So once I get
Just get ready. You got to work hard out here.
Oh,
I've always
yeah.
said, it's like, yo, if I move to Montana, I'm taking over that bitch.
Montana.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, because like at that point, like how many artists are in Montana, you know? That's why I even ask you, is like, you don't feel like you were like a superstar in North Carolina? Because I feel like there's not that much art. But if you're like dropping art, it's like, yo, breathe. You don't know breathe.
Nah. Nah.
It sucks. I actually thought, I was like, yo, if I move to like Arkansas, I might be the biggest artist in Arkansas.
You would think.
But the niggas probably like, who the fuck is this brown guy?
That's the thing too. You gotta make sure that they even have a market for that out there too. Like,
Yeah.
do they even give a fuck about artwork in Montana and Arkansas?
I mean,
I think they more worried about, you know, they cattle and shit.
yeah, but I bet you if you did a painting of like a cow, they'd be like, damn, that shit is a sick cow
I need
painting.
that. Maybe so.
Can you pay me a cow in my barn? I was like, got you, bro. I was like, what's Josh doing now? He paints cows on barns and shit.
Yeah, right. Hey, that might be a niche.
Hey, that'd be
Maybe
cool. I
a
mean,
niche.
as long as I don't have to draw the cow realistic, you know.
Better get on that hyper realism real quick.
But you know, to put a cap to the show, what's one thing you can tell everybody to like take with themselves this year?
I would tell everybody to take with them what we've been talking about all night and keep that creativity going. I think that's important, honestly. And
is.
I'm glad we even brought that up tonight because that's huge.
Yeah,
I
just
actually
be
was
genuine
talking
to-
to
yeah.
another artist about that too because he was asking me, like, what do I need to do? You know, how do I get my creativity going? Like, just keep going, man.
And it's funny, and to talk about that one more time is the fact that too is like, that's another thing that I hate about this whole industry now too, is there's so many people jumping in it thinking that they can make money.
Mm,
And the biggest part about being an artist is you got to do it for the love of it,
You have to.
because like
shit will
you
eat
will
you
never,
alive
yeah,
if you don't love it.
yeah, because there's a lot of days you don't make
Mm,
money,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
more days you don't make money.
it really is.
And I'm not just talking about like us, like from media to music.
Yeah.
You
From
have to do this
designers.
shit. You have to do something that you'll be willing to do for free,
Mm-hmm.
and then run it, because like, yeah, man, you'll literally drive yourself nuts, and especially down here. And me, like, as a male artist, it already sucks. Like, if I fucking draw naked women, I'm a fucking horn dog. if I
Fair.
and it's like, dude, it's like so much shit. It's like I don't want to draw fucking cartoons all day because it's not really art to me. But unless you like spaz it up, like I also don't want to copy paste. I do want to create my own shit. It's like it is hard, but like I guess just stick genuine to yourself.
Stay real to yourself. Stay real to your craft.
Just have fun.
Have fun.
You gotta
with
have
it, too.
fun. A lot of fun with it.
You got to. You
For
got
sure.
to.
Well, I definitely appreciate you coming out here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Spreading the knowledge and love,
Of course.
and also representing real artists. Because again, not trying to knock this nigga, but like, bro, fuck all that splat shit. Fuck, like, nah, it's the truth. It's like, yo, like, I just don't like it. I don't like people coming into my shit.
No, I feel you though.
You know?
I feel that. I'm big on that, but I mean, Miami don't taught me that too though, because I've been seeing that a lot out here, where it's like, and they're getting paid for that shit out here too.
But it's even like the other day, we were cooking some food, and I'm actually ended. Stephanie the other day, she made some food, and she's like, tried it, and she's like, oh no, go take a shower. I need to season it some more. And in my head, it was like, there's people in this world that cook because they need to eat to survive, and there's some people that are passionate about fucking feeding people and the reaction of it.
And you can taste the difference too when someone cooks with love versus they just cooking to cook some shit.
Like, we need to eat. And that's how I feel about art, bro. So it's like I smell a fucking poser, bro.
Cooking. Yep, you can tell whether or not they cooking with love or not. Painting with love or not.
Yeah. I was like, bro, do not come in this fucking lane, bro, because I will fucking cover your shit up.
Yep. Look.
Well, anyways, guys, this is Talk About with Lust. I'm your host, Lust, and thank you for coming.